Hello everyone, I'm back once again with another new video. This is a response to Mickey Babylon's video that he did. I'm just running through some stuff here. Okay, so he did a video and his style was he was going to pay tribute to ECW. Now, basically, my thought process going into this is that ECW is gone. Let's not try and dig things up. And apparently, he had Mick Foley appear on the show. I'm not sure what his employment status was, but apparently someone commented that he wasn't available. He brought in Shane Douglas. I wouldn't for this one show. Look, I don't want to give any attention to anyone else. I don't want to waste everyone's time. Look, the reason you tune into pay-per-view is for the matches, the conclusion of stories, and stuff like that. My philosophy is pay attention to my own product. Don't let's forget about ECW. The WWE brand of ECW has just gone. It finished up earlier in the year. I don't think anyone wants to think about it anymore. Let's move on. Let's do what we're doing. Now, I'm not sure what his plan is going forward for the NXT guys, so I'm not doing anything with them yet. This is just a response video. There's going to be a lot of these because he only does one show at a time. This last video had to be broken into two pieces. It was nearly an hour long. I'll try and get this done in less time, guys. I will just get to the points of each feud and moving forward. Okay. So he has listed off different announcers for each show. He pretty much brought an end to the guest host era. I think there were one or two more good ones left, but he had Bret Hart come out midnight after and be named the new GM of Raw. I'm pretty much probably going to do the same thing. And that will fit into a storyline going forward anyway. So let's say that the board of directors has decided to leave that alone, and now Bret Hart is the GM of Raw. He can't be ousted unless it's a unanimous vote of the board, or he quits. And yeah, that's the storyline going forward. Also, Vince McMahon can't. I really don't like Vince being on the show, but he's going to be around for a little while. But he can't make decisions that affect Bret Hart directly, or something along those lines. Basically, is what's going to happen with that. I'll get in more into detail the next video. Basically, that's what's going to happen. The other thing I might do is I might have Vince McMahon really show up the next couple of weeks leading into this. He's going to be selling what happened at WrestleMania anyway. The Divas and Women's titles are going to be combined. Basically, Bret Hart and Teddy Long are going to come to a arrangement. I've looked at the rosters that he's put together, that Mickey Babylon's put together. I can't run a women's division with 4 women on one show and like 3 and 4 on the other. We're going to combine both. Moving forward, the women are going to move. Women's champion is going to move between both brands. It's not going to be a huge deal going forward. And I'm putting the 2 best women from either brand. He hasn't listed Gail Kim here. He mentioned her, but Oh yeah, she's on the other show. But I decided to go with the best heel on one show and the best babyface on the other. So it's Serena Deeb representing the Straight Edge Society. She's won the belt from Michelle McCool in a triple threat match on SmackDown. She's just won the belt, women's title. Nataya has beaten Maurice, and Nataya is gonna pick up the win here with a sharpshooter in this no DQ match. It's basically that's what's gonna happen, and yeah, that's moving forward. We're gonna keep going with that. Nataya is gonna be the face of my division going forward, and maybe we'll have Bret Hart come out and celebrate with her after the match. Then we move on to the tag team things. The tag team title match. Basically, I'm just going to go over this really quick. Air Boom have been brought together. MVP and Ezekiel Jackson have been brought together to represent SmackDown and be part of this Fatal 4-Way Tables match. Big Show's going to win. He is going to get the final pin. This will heat up the tag team division. I put some teams together. Ezekiel Jackson's basically, he's left ECW, and MVP is kind of taking him under his wing as like his bodyguard and whatnot, and we're gonna go with that because I think that's the best role for Ezekiel Jackson. He's not going to be talking, he's not going to be doing much. He's just going to be hanging around with MVP. R-Truth and John Morrison, I think they kind of complement each other pretty well. So we go from there. Drew McIntyre versus Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's come up as a challenger. He feels he's got something to prove going forward. He starts winning a few matches. He challenges Drew McIntyre to a match, but Drew hasn't got the protection of Vince anymore. Vince is out of the picture. Teddy Long is running the show, and he says, "Look at and there's a few they have a few matches together, but it always ends in like a DQ or or Drew McIntyre gets counted out." Teddy says, "Okay, that's it. We're gonna use strap. You guys are gonna be strapped together. You're not gonna be able to run. You're not gonna be able to hide. It's gonna be a strap match between you two." And Drew manages to sneak in a win here. This is not going to be a traditional strap match either. There's not going to be any DQs, and the only reason that the strap's in the match, is there's not going to be any countouts or anything. It's pinfall to the finish because I hate the touching of the turnbuckles because it never makes any fucking sense. All the matches end the same. We're going to use that as the deal. Now, Mickey Babylon also booked this match, but I'm doing it a little bit different in the sense that I kind of want to use a steel cage match for what it was initially meant for. This is a steel cage between Triple H and Sheamus, and basically Triple H won at WrestleMania. And I don't think that was the right call. So I'm going to change things. I can't do anything about that, but maybe I can fix things here. Basically, what happens with this one is Triple H and Sheamus keep getting into it, and they've been brawling in the back. They've been brawling in the crowd whenever they get close to one another. Basically, instead of the heel running away, the cage is brought in to confine them into this match, and Triple H gets the pit of his butt kicked. And one at the end of the match happens though, where he's trapped between the ropes and the cage, and Sheamus just keeps bro-kicking him. He's knocked out and he's fallen forward. He keeps bro-kicking him and finally pulls him back into the ring. 1, 2, 3. And because we sell it that he's been, plus he's been busted open, he's bleeding. His face, hopefully his face will be covered in blood. And we say that he's sustained. We bring it up later that he's sustained serious injuries in this match. We're not sure when he's coming back. Triple H is coming back, or if he's coming back. Basically, that's where we run things. Now, this next match was like, I really wanted to do something with these two guys. I couldn't think of anything storyline wise or anything for it really. But it's Kane and Christian. And I thought, and I'm thinking about now, and there's a size difference here, obviously, and I just think we put these two guys in the ring against one another. And this is basically a way to build up Christian is obviously what I want to do here. It's a Lumberjack match, and basically I think what we'll do is we'll have Kane has been running on a rampage through the SmackDown roster. He's like random moments during shows. Kane comes out, he chokeslams both people in the match, then he walks out. He does this for a couple of weeks, and basically the ring is surrounded with a lot of his victims, and he just doesn't care. And Christian has been the only one to get any amount of decent offense on Kane during one of these things, and he has volunteered to step up and fight for the roster and protect them from this guy. And thing is, he's been chokeslamming babyfaces, heels. He doesn't care. He's just coming out chokeslamming people, and we don't know why. And I don't think we're going to get an answer because I haven't thought of it yet. But basically, that's the story going into this. Then we move on to the SmackDown World Title main event. Because, yeah, I'm going to book this. It's Fatal 4-Way, so there's no disqualifications, no nothing. We're combining two matches that actually happened, I believe, on the show. Chris Jericho, Edge, Rey Mysterio, and CM Punk. Now, Rey's going to win this. But it's a one pinfall to the finish. Basically, the CM Punk storyline is still kind of going on. We're not going to throw things on the line like hair or anything. Not yet, anyway. But basically, all these guys won the world title. And Teddy Long has just kind of combined everything into one big thing. Then we don't have anything else on the card. And I wanted to get a certain amount of people on the card as I can. And yeah, well, that's kind of where things are. Is that there wasn't Edge wants a rematch. Rey Mysterio and the CM Punk thing keeps happening, and we want to combine the matches. And yeah, we're gonna have, and plus I think this match look at the people in it. It's going to be pretty hard for them to have a bad match. From what I know, CM Punk and Chris Jericho have had good matches. Edge and Rey Mysterio have had good matches. Mysterio and CM Punk clearly going to have good matches. Edge and Chris Jericho have always had good matches. So I'm going to put them all in together, and Luke Gallows is going to be at the ringside. So we got an interference factor there, and yeah, Mysterio is going to win. He's going to win the world title, and we're going to have some fun and move along with him for the moment. Okay, WWE title match: John Cena versus Batista. WWE title. And guess what? Cena's going to go over because Cena wins. Spoiler happens. Basically, we're going to continue on the story from WrestleMania. And basically, it's who is the face of WWE? Is it Batista or is it John Cena? Batista says it's him, and John Cena reckons it's him. Crowd's probably going to, so some of the crowd's going to chant for Batista, some of the crowd's going to chant for Cena, and well, moving forward, I think we're going to keep that storyline going. Basically, Brett wants to keep it going. Batista cashing in his rematch. He wants it to be a last man standing match, and he wants to beat the hell out of Cena. He says he's sick of it. He's sick of the sight of him. He wants to beat the hell out of him. And Cena says, yeah, well, I respect you, and we're going to have a great match, and I'm going to give 100%, and blah, 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 blah. Cena's going to do that. And by the way, I do have a plan for that going forward. Stay tuned. That I have a plan for. Yeah, we're gonna go on with that, and Cena's the last person standing. Now, when I wrote that in, I didn't realize that Batista wasn't leaving yet. So we're gonna have a last man standing match, but it's not gonna be the end of the feud. I do have a plan going forward. So. That's my Extreme Rules, and I just want to mention that he puts some great stuff together, and it would be great if it were on the network. If he had done what he did, and WWE was running the network at the time, that'd be great, but not here. No. We're still in the pay-per-view business, and we're gonna continue on. The next show is Over the Edge, and it's gonna be an interesting show. Got some interesting ideas for it, and hopefully Mickey Babylon doesn't take so long to get to it, because I'm looking forward to seeing what he does for Fatal 4-Way, if he's going to keep that show going there. So, and if you, again, please pay attention to the description below. I'm going to post both the roster, and he said he's going to keep certain people around as well. If he decides to keep certain people around, that's fine. There's certain people I want to keep around too, but there's some people I'm just going to fire right out the gate. So, yeah. Stay tuned. We're going to be back with Over the Limit. And we're going to rebook that going forward. And that'll be interesting because there's some stuff going on there. See y'all later.